Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. In yesterday's Take 5, I was dealing with a bit of an urban legend that sprung up among Christians, saying that the blood of a lamb naturally has anti-venom that makes it immune to snake bites. Now, that's not the case, but we did say that scientists use the blood of horses and sheep to create anti-venom, but they could do that with the blood of any other animal, but they use horses and sheep because they're large, plenty of blood, and they're readily available. They can produce large quantities of anti-venom in this way. But I did say that you could create anti-venom with the blood of other animals, including people. And in fact, there is a guy who has done just this, and his name is Tim Fried. He's an American, and he's a mechanic, and he's also really big into snakes. He keeps a lot of pet venomous snakes. Now, a lot of people do that. I have a brother-in-law who used to keep snakes, but Tim Fried keeps a lot of snakes, and he was concerned about the issue of people dying every year from snake bite. And you might think, no, that's quite a rare way for somebody to die. But actually, worldwide, there's up to 140,000 people die every year from snake bites, and about 3 times as much, that's almost 500,000 people, either need amputations or are left permanently disabled because of snake bites. So Tim Fried wanted to address this problem. Now, here's the issue. You can create anti-venom by injecting a small amount of snake venom into different kinds of animals or even people, and the blood then builds up antibodies to that. The problem is that each snake tends to have a different kind of venom, each species of snake. So you can get an anti-venom, for example, for one kind of rattlesnake, but it won't work against a cobra, for example. And so this creates a great problem, because to have anti-venom available, you need anti-venom for all these different kinds of snakes. So how did Tim Fried decide to get this? Well, he began getting the venom of many different kinds of poisonous snakes, and he began injecting himself with it. And in fact, he injected himself over 700 times with snake venom from some of the most dangerous snakes in the world, starting with very small amounts and then building up to bigger amounts. And then, once he had built up a good amount of immunity to these snakes, he began deliberately getting venomous snakes to bite him, including some of the most dangerous snakes in the world, including mambas and cobras, whose venom and bite is absolutely deadly. And so he's injected snake venom into himself from multiple kinds of snakes 700 times, and he's been bitten by venomous snakes deliberately 200 times. And because of that, his blood now contains antibodies to like so many different kinds of snakes. And his blood is now being used by scientists to create anti-venom that can save people's lives all around the world. You know what? I have to say, I think Tim Fried must be a little bit nuts to have tried to do this in the first place, but he is to be congratulated, because he's now saving lives all around the world because of the remarkable thing he has done by deliberately drawing the venom of snakes into his own bloodstream in order to help save the lives of other people. And that is actually only a very small picture of what Jesus did for us. That Jesus, when he died upon the cross, he took all the poison of sin, all the poison of shame, all the poison of suffering and grief, and he drew it all into himself. And he did it so that we could have life. Tim Fried, got to be congratulated for what he's done. But what Jesus has done is just infinitely greater and infinitely better, because he has now taken the worst poison in the world, the poison of sin, and because Jesus has drawn that into himself upon the cross, he now has the antidote to sin, which is the blood of Jesus. And when we trust in him and we put ourselves underneath the covering power of his blood by faith through the new birth, we now are set free to live forever without fearing the power of sin anymore. And for that, we have to give God the glory. God bless you today. Join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.